What's up you guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video I am finally going to be filming my postpartum slash new mom Q&A. I asked you guys for questions for this video like 2 months ago and I saved them all on my phone and then just never got around to filming it and just kept filming other videos and just kind of totally forgot about it. And then I was looking through my phone pictures the other day and found all the questions, so I figured I'd finally film this. I asked you on my Instagram again a few days ago to send in any more questions and I got a few more, so I'm just going to answer those. Get them all saved right here, screenshotted. And yeah, I do want to say really quick, if you ask me any questions about my birth experience in specific or anything like that, I have a birth story video that I will link down below, and I answered all the questions in that. I told my whole story of my birth, so you can go watch that if you have more questions about it, because I don't want to just like re-answer all the same questions. So yeah, if you ask a question about my birth or my postpartum recovery specifically, I have a postpartum recovery video too. I'll link both of those down below. Your questions probably answered in that. So without further ado, subscribe if you're new and let's get into the video. So the first question that I have is, how did you know you were ready for kids? I don't know. I don't feel like anyone's really ready for kids. Archer was actually kind of an accident. We were trying for quite a few months and then we decided to stop trying for, you know, personal reasons, and then it kind of happened on accident. And I was really excited when I found out I was pregnant, and I was so excited to meet him throughout my pregnancy, but there's always that little bit of you that's like really scared. I think that it's normal to be scared, and I think it's abnormal probably to think that you're gonna have it all figured out. So I feel like if you're in a position in your life where you're financially stable and you're where you want to be and you're with who you want to be with, then that's totally, I mean, if you feel like you're ready for a baby, then maybe you are, but I don't feel like anyone is 100% ready for kids and knows 100% like I'm ready right now. I knew 100% I always wanted to have kids, and I'm really glad that I had him when I did. So I feel like it just kind of happened when it was meant to happen. And yeah, I hope that was a good enough answer. The next question is, how long did it take for you to find your flow / routine with your babe? So Caleb was home with me for the first 5 weeks of Archer's life, which was really great. But when you have a newborn, I don't know how anyone has a routine with a newborn, because they sleep when they want to sleep, they eat when they want to eat. I mean, you have to wake them up every like 2 hours to eat, but Archer was so hard to wake up. Like, he lost a lot of weight in the beginning because he just did not want to wake up and eat. So really, babies are going to do whatever they want to do. I actually just posted a morning routine video on Monday. And even in that video I say, you know, we have as much of a routine as we can, but babies are going to do what they want to do when they want to do it. So Archer naps generally, I'm sorry the lighting keeps going in and out, I'm using the natural lighting of the window, but Archer naps when he wants to nap, he naps for as long as he wants to nap, he eats when he wants to eat, I feed on demand. So really, I don't know like if we have necessarily a great routine. He goes to bed around the same time every day and he wakes up around the same time every day, wakes up in the middle of the night to feed around the same time, but it's never exactly the same. So I would say maybe when he was around 2 months old, we started putting him down every hour. Like, he was awake for an hour at a time for naps, and that really helped. We never really put him down for naps. We just kind of let him fall asleep, and we realized he was getting overtired and it was making our lives miserable. So I think maybe around 2 months is when we started to figure him out, you know, notice his sleepy cues, notice his hunger cues, figure out what different cries meant different things, because that's going to take a little while for everybody. So maybe around 2 months, but honestly he's 3 months old now and we still don't have a perfect routine. So don't be hard on yourself if you don't have one. I think it takes a while to figure your baby out. And also with being in quarantine and Caleb being home all the time now, it went from Caleb being home all the time to me being the only one home to Caleb being home again. So that's kind of messed with things too. And when he eventually goes back to work, it's going to be even harder because I'll be on my own again. So yeah, I don't know when we'll have a really set routine, if we will ever have a really set routine, because babies just like to do what they want to do. But I would say around 2 months is when we probably started like focusing more on, you know, bedtime routine, morning routine, all that kind of stuff. The next one is, how do you handle not sleeping? I mean, you just gotta do what you gotta do. It's just the, I don't know, it's just, that's parenthood, is not sleeping in the beginning. I never really slept much before. I've never been a good sleeper. Like, even growing up I wasn't a good sleeper, so I do okay without a lot of sleep. Archer wakes up anywhere from 2 to 5 times a night to eat now, but he only eats for like 5 minutes and then he goes back to sleep. But that like non-consecutive sleep can get really exhausting, and I usually get an extra 45 minutes to an hour in the morning when Caleb wakes up with him. So that's really nice. But yeah, I mean, I don't really know how you handle it. You just kind of do it. Drink a lot of coffee and take naps when you can. Just try to rest when you can. That's really all you can do, because when your baby needs you, they need you, and that's just being a mom or a dad. So Next one is, what does your daily schedule look like with a baby? I just posted my morning routine, like I said, so I will link that down below as well. And yeah, it's pretty much, he eats every 2.5 hours or so. He sleeps for like a half hour usually. Sometimes he'll take like a random 2.5 hour nap, but most of the time his naps are between a half hour and an hour, and then he's awake for no more than an hour and a half, usually just an hour, because he gets really sleepy really fast because he doesn't take long naps. So our daily routine is pretty much what our morning routine is, so you can watch that video, and then just, you know, asleep for like a half hour, awake for an hour, we play, we eat, change diapers, go back down. We do things like tummy time and airplane, and he's got some books that he looks at. We're working on like grabbing toys and stuff, but he's only 3 months old, so he's not doing much. It's really just like getting him engaged to giggle and smile and stuff, and that's what playtime is. So yeah, the days go by so fast. I don't know what we do all day to make them go by so fast, but that's kind of what our days look like. What's the hardest part about being a new mom? 100% like the emotional effect it has on you, because I always thought that the hardest part about being a mom would be like breastfeeding, being like tethered to this little baby, or, you know, not sleeping, just wanting to have free time, all of that. No, the hardest part is the fact that like you love this thing so much, and when they cry and you can't figure out what's wrong, or I don't know, when they just won't sleep and all you want them to do is sleep because you know they'll feel better, and just like being so obsessed with something that you just have this like anxiety and fear all of the time that like something's gonna happen to them. At least for me, that's been the hardest part, is just like constantly needing him to feel loved. Like if he wants to snuggle me and he doesn't want to sleep in his crib, then I'll rock him and I'll sit in my room in the dark for like 2 hours rocking him to sleep, just staring at the wall, because if it's what he wants, it's what he wants, and I'm not gonna like take the time to go grab my phone and entertain myself because I don't want to risk waking him up. So I think just like the hardest part is just becoming totally selfless and just being so obsessed and in love with this tiny human that you will do literally anything for them. And it's honestly, it's emotionally exhausting to love something that much, something so much that it hurts. And I wanted to make a whole video on that, actually, just talking about how hard it is to be a mom. Even thinking about, you know, having a second baby and wanting to make sure that Archer feels as loved as he always did when he was an only child, and just the emotional toll that having a baby and giving birth to something has on you, and just that much love. It's just, I don't even know how to put it into words, which is why I haven't filmed a video on it yet, but it's just crazy. It's nothing that I ever could have imagined. It's nothing I ever could have prepared myself for, and that has definitely been the hardest part so far about being a mom. How much weight did you gain during pregnancy? I gained 25 pounds, and no, I don't know how much I weigh now. I was weighed at my 5-week postpartum appointment, and I had lost 22 of those pounds, somewhere around there, so I lost the weight really fast. But I don't know how much I weigh now. I did do a postpartum body update. I'll just link all the videos down below. Everything about my birth and my pregnancy and postpartum I'll link down below, so you guys can check that out. How long do you plan to breastfeed? I'm hoping to go to 1 year. I'm not going to say for sure that I'm going to do that, because you never know what's going to happen. I think we'll probably try to start solids around 6 months or so, maybe 4 months, 5 months. We'll have to talk to the pediatrician, obviously. I know that's when most people start. But I do plan to continue breastfeeding all the way up until 1 year, but, you know, best laid plans. I don't know what's going to happen. That's just what I hope to do. Do you want more kids? Yes, we think we want 1 more. I think 2 kids would be good for us. Yeah, we're planning on 1 more if we're so lucky. What were your must-haves for postpartum? So like I said, I did do a video all about my postpartum recovery and my must-haves, but just like quick off the top of my head, nursing bras, boob pads, a robe, Earth Mama nipple butter and Earth Mama spray for down there, Dermaplast spray for down there, diapers. Diapers is probably my #1, like adult diapers, depends, were the best thing ever. I just hate pads, and being able to just put a diaper on and not worry about it leaking or anything was just so convenient, and it was so comfy. Obviously, like big comfy clothes. Yeah, like I said, I'll link that video down below, because I actually like show you and talk about all of my postpartum must-haves, and those are the ones that I can think of off the top of my head right now, but I planned that video out, so that will be linked down below. What is something you wish you would have done before baby got here / when pregnant? I wish I would have enjoyed my pregnancy more. When I reached the end of my pregnancy, I definitely was just so ready for it to be over, and I just wanted him to be here so bad that I didn't really pay attention to being pregnant anymore. And then I struggled really hard postpartum with not being pregnant anymore. That was really, really hard for me. I definitely got the blues for sure, not being pregnant anymore and being really sad that my pregnancy with him specifically was over. I knew that I could always be pregnant again and I could experience it again, but I could never experience it again for the very first time with him. So I think if I could go back in hindsight, I would just enjoy pregnancy more and I wouldn't have complained so much, and I would have really soaked it all up, because everyone's always like, oh, it goes by so fast, like you gotta soak it up. And I was just like, yeah, totally I am. But they're not kidding. You really do want to do that, because I was really sad and had a really hard time postpartum with not being pregnant anymore. So I think I probably would have just like focused on enjoying it more and, you know, just being pregnant. What would Archer's name have been if it wasn't Archer? So I filmed a baby names I love but won't be using video, and when I filmed that video, Archer's name actually wasn't Archer, and at the time it was Finn. So originally he was gonna be Finn, like 100% his name was gonna be Finn. And that's why I didn't say Finn in that video, but I also didn't say Archer in that video because when I filmed the video, I was super unsure. We'd always picked out Finn as our boy name for like, I mean, years now. It was not just when we found out we were pregnant. So Finn was just always our boy name. So when we found out we were pregnant, we're like, oh yeah, it's gonna be Finn if it's a boy. And then Finn just started feeling less and less like our baby's name. It just didn't feel right to me, but I wasn't sure why. And then the day that we found out he was a boy, I was like, his name can't be Finn, it's just not the right name. And Archer was just kind of in the back of my head. Archer just like kept sticking out to me, and I just kept thinking about it. And I sent a list of names to my sister, and I was like, pick out your favorite name, which one's your favorite? And she said Archer was her favorite. So yeah, his name was gonna be Finn. It wasn't even Archer from the beginning, it was Finn up until we found out we were having a boy, and then I was like, this is wrong. How do you feel about Archer? So if we had another boy, it wouldn't be Finn. I think Finn just is kind of, I love the name, but it's super popular and it's just not right for us, I don't think. So yeah, I love that name, and that would have been his name if we didn't change it, I guess. But yeah, so his name would have been Finn. And then someone also asked what his name would have been if he were a girl, but I'm not going to tell you that because we may still use it if we have a girl, so we'll have to see. And I think that's all the questions I'm going to answer. I have a few more, but this video seems like it's already a little long, so hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe down below. Ask me any other questions you have in the comments or on my Instagram or whatever. Like I said, I will link my birth story, my postpartum recovery, my postpartum body update, and anything else I said I was going to link, I'll link it down below so you guys can watch that if I didn't answer your questions. Most of the questions I got were about postpartum and birth, and I just didn't want to make this video a reiteration of the other videos already filmed. So go check those out. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!